This team needs to do something, and they need to do something right now. What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to Red Seat Radio. My name is Corbin. We're going to try a little bit of a different video here. This is going to be essentially just a rant video, no script, no real edits, all just sort of from the top of the head. If you're looking for something a little bit more put together, we'll say there's another video on my channel that is being released at the exact same time that goes over the Red Sox promotions. But in this video, we're going to be talking about why the Red Sox need to get their heads out of their butts and do something to supplement this baseball team before it's too late. Before we get into the video though, just a heads up, we are going to be live tonight on this channel right around 8:35 p.m. Eastern time. We're not only going to be watching the Red Sox hopefully turn this season around, but we're also going to be talking about the latest deadline news and of course everything we're going to be going over in this video. We're going to be getting more in depth on the live stream. It's going to be a ton of fun, so head over tonight 8:45 p.m. Eastern time on this channel. Thank you all very much for clicking on this one. Let's get into it. So like I said, basically a little bit of a different video in this one. It's essentially just going to be me sitting here talking with you guys. And the reason we are making this video today is because the Red Sox are in a rut. They are not just in a rut. They are on the verge of completely ruining everything that they have built up over their last 2 months. Over the last 4 days, the Red Sox have lost every single one of their games. But there's a couple of things that stand out that make this even more concerning. In those 4 games, they have blown 5 different save opportunities. That has to be some sort of record. The Boston Red Sox simply cannot close out games right now. And to make matters worse, this is coming at possibly the worst possible time in the entire season, because over the last 4 games that they've lost, the Red Sox have also plummeted their playoff odds to over 50%, all the way down to just 34, 32%. That's a 20% difference in just a couple of days. Now, obviously, this could turn around really quickly, right? The Red Sox could go off and they could win 5 of their next 6 games, and all of a sudden they're right back to where they were supposed to be. But right now, it doesn't feel like they are capable of that. That is why we are making this video today. That is why we are ranting about not the Boston Red Sox specifically, although we are going to be ranting about them, but I'm talking about the front office specifically, because the front office is in a very unique position where they can help this team right now while also setting themselves up to compete for the rest of the season. The biggest reason for the Red Sox losing these games goes back to those blown saves. It has a lot to do with injuries. The Red Sox have had injuries all over the place this entire season, and they've been able to battle through them. It doesn't feel like they're going to be able to battle through these injuries that they currently have. Chris Martin and Justin Slayton going down is honestly, surprisingly, the biggest impact on this Red Sox team that we've seen this entire season due to injury. Tristan Casas, Trevor Story going down, that felt like nails in the coffin of this season. This team battled through those. This team found ways to win games without 2 of their biggest hitters on this team. And I know people don't love Trevor Story, but it's a fact that Trevor Story, potential-wise, is one of the best hitters on the Boston Red Sox. We just haven't seen that yet. That's an entirely different part of this story. But these guys going down, it feels like this bullpen is completely different. It feels like you're watching the 2022 bullpen, where no one has a true role, where no one has the ability to step up in a big game, where no one has the ability to fill the shoes of the guys who came before them. And that's the biggest problem. Without Justin Slayton, without Chris Martin, you simply cannot finish out these baseball games. And to make matters worse, you don't even have Kenley Jansen right now, right? You don't have your all-star caliber, Hall of Fame caliber closer, because he has to get his heart shocked every time he comes into Colorado. Obviously a smart choice for him to not go to Colorado. I wouldn't go to Colorado either if I needed to get my heart shocked every time I went there, but that makes this team even worse. They have no ability right now to close out games, and this, in my opinion, falls squarely on this front office right now. They don't have to wait until the last day of the deadline to make a decision on this team. Take everything you've seen from this club over the last 2 months and make your decision. It should be buying. You should be sitting there saying, man, this team is head over heels above where we thought they were going to be this season. They're kind of drowning right now. You're flat out letting them drown because of injuries. This should be a no-brainer. Craig Breslow should be on the phone right now, not even trying to get a bullpen ace, not even trying to get a superstar closer, just trying to get a body in here that has the ability to get you from the 8th inning on, because that's where the Red Sox are falling apart right now. It's the exact spot where Chris Martin and Justin Slayton should be entering these games. Every single time the Red Sox have gone into the 8th inning with a lead over the last 4 games, which is, by the way, every single time the Red Sox have played a game this year outside of yesterday where they were tied, the Red Sox bullpen has given up runs. You need to go out there and you need to find a way to fix this team because they absolutely deserve it. It's not rocket science right now. I know there are going to be people out there that say simply this team isn't ready to compete. The Red Sox should sell. And the way they're playing right now, yeah, you're absolutely right, but this isn't the Red Sox team that we have seen for the last 2 months. This isn't who the Red Sox are. It flat out isn't, right? And we could talk about the other holes on the Boston Red Sox. We could talk about the fact that they really do need another starting pitcher, especially with guys starting to reach their inning limits. We could talk about the fact that the Red Sox really need a right-handed bat, as they have almost 100 points lower OPS against lefties than they do righties. But at the same time, too, you look at these last 4 games and you say, well, starting pitching hasn't been fantastic, but they've also done enough to allow this team to win games. The offense hasn't been fantastic, but they've also done enough to be able to win baseball games. This rests solely on the Red Sox bullpen right now, and to me, this is such a simple solution. Again, you don't need someone in there that's going to end up being a superstar closer or a superstar reliever. You don't need a guy who's going to have a .69 ERA in the 8th inning. You just need a guy who's going to be able to get out there and give you 3 outs, because right now there's no one in this bullpen that's going to allow you to do that. Greg Weiser, send him down to AAA and bring someone else up. The Red Sox don't have a ton of depth in AAA right now, but you do have guys like Jason Alexander, Luis Guerrero, and other players in AAA who aren't on your 40-man roster who could possibly do that for you. You need to do something. You cannot allow this team to drown amongst its own problems. And again, is this a lot for the Red Sox to overcome? It is. And is there a possibility that they do that? Absolutely, right? There's still 6 games until the deadline. I could make this ranting video, and tonight, going forward, they win 5 of their next 6, and all of a sudden they're 500 on this stretch, exactly where they should be, back to 10 games, 11 games over 500, back in a playoff spot, and none of this matters. But if it does come down to the Red Sox buying or selling and a bullpen arm, I'm going to lose my mind, because that's an unbelievably simple solution. Craig Breslow is a former player. Craig Breslow understands what it means to be in this locker room headed into a deadline. He understands what it means to be in this clubhouse when a team is fighting for a wild card spot at a deadline. He understands all of that. So the fact that he is sitting on his hands right now is driving me absolutely insane. And I get it's easier said than done, right? Every team in Major League Baseball right now knows that this Red Sox team needs a reliever, knows that this team needs another arm. And so it's quite possible that Craig Breslow is trying to get a deal done. Teams are just saying, hey, well, wait a second, we can get a ton of overpay from the Boston Red Sox if we just stand still, because they're going to have to do something at some point. I understand that that's part of this equation, but at some point you got to put your nuts on the table here a little bit, right? You got to be able to say, we believe in this Red Sox team, we want this Red Sox team to win, and we are willing to do what it takes to get them there. We've been talking about this all season long. Are the Red Sox going to be willing to do what it takes to get the Red Sox into a position where they are going to be able to compete? And I don't care if that's getting a starting pitcher. We're going to talk about Jameson Taillon tomorrow as someone the Red Sox have been really interested in as a trade deadline target. If you go out and you get Jameson Taillon tomorrow, that has a ripple effect with this bullpen, because now you could put Cooper Criswell in there. Now you can have Cooper Criswell and Josh Winkowski as your long relievers, and you could place Cam Boozer, Zach Kelly, who I know had a bad inning last night, but overall has been really solid for this Red Sox team into those late innings. So you can allow those guys to man more of a solidified role, which we have seen over the last 2 years as incredibly important to this Red Sox team's success. Again, I go back to 2022 where there were no set roles in the bullpen at all, and they were one of the worst teams in Major League Baseball when it came to closing out games. Getting a set role in the bullpen does wonders for this team, and by doing so, you are going to allow this team to compete once again. I can't stand the fact that we are watching the Red Sox basically shoot themselves in the foot to no fault of the players on the field. They're doing everything they possibly can. Again, they scored 8 runs last night. That should absolutely be enough to win baseball games. It comes down to the Red Sox refusing to add depth to this bullpen, and it's driving me absolutely insane. Look, it's not fully over. The Red Sox can throw in the towel right now. Again, they have lost 4 games in a row, and that really sucks, but they still have 6 games here, and we talked about before they came in to this sort of stretch of games coming into the deadline that they needed to go 500. They needed to come out of this road trip and these games against New York, and they needed to be basically at the exact same spot they were at headed into the break. That's still 100% possible. They could come out tonight, take this series from Colorado, take the series from New York, and win their first game against Seattle, and all of a sudden you're talking about a completely different scenario, but you just simply can't allow this team to lay down and die through no fault of their own, and that's my biggest point here. You can't, if you are the front office, it's time to wake the hell up. It's time to do something for this team before it's too late. It's starting to feel like a dire situation with the Boston Red Sox, and that's why we're making this rant video today. Honestly, I don't know what they're going to do. I have no idea if this is a valid excuse for the Red Sox to say, no, we're good. We're going to get some prospects for 2025. I don't know if they're sitting there saying, yeah, this is a bad stretch, but we believe in this team. I don't know. But what I do know is that you can't sit on your hands. You have to do something, at least give this team a chance to win some baseball games over the next 6 days, or it's going to be very clear what they have to do come July 30th. I pray to God Craig Breslow is able to wake up right now and do what is necessary to bring this team back into contention. I don't know, though. I really don't know. So let me know in the comment section down below. What do you think? Does the Red Sox front office need to step its game up? Does the Red Sox front office need to do something? Or are they right in sitting on their hands and saying, we're going to wait and we're going to sell everything we possibly can on this team because it's going to better 2025? Let me know all your thoughts in the comment section down below. Let me know what you think of these videos as well. These sort of just me and you sitting here talking as opposed to a more structured video, as opposed to a more highlighted video. Let me know all your thoughts on that in the comment section down below as well. Don't forget, if you made it to the end of this video, do me a favor, make sure you guys have hit that subscribe button if you haven't already. If you're new here, we talk Sox almost every single day. Also, make sure you guys have hit the like button on this video as well. It just helps these videos out a ton, and it would mean a lot to me. Don't forget, you can always get these episodes, although this one might not be the best one to listen to in podcast form. Wherever you get podcasts, all you got to do is head over to your favorite podcasting app and look up Red Seat Radio. Don't forget, we're going to be live tonight, 8:35 p.m. Eastern time on this channel, probably talking more about this and overall the Red Sox deadline in total. Thank you all very much for clicking on this one, and I will see you in the Red Seats.